there's just so much to cover here, and your story as well. I'd love to really start with the foundation of today's topic. So, why is it important for a leader to have a healthy relationship with themselves in order to lead effectively?
Yeah. A great question. I've come to realize leadership is about healthy relationships with those you lead, with your peers, with wherever you are. And I think that starts with relationship with self. If you can't have a healthy relationship with self, you're going to struggle to have that healthy relationship with others.
And so, what does it mean to have a healthy relationship with a self? If somebody is just listening for the first time, has never really put some thought into it, they're a leader and, either leading small teams or large teams. What does that mean to have a healthy relationship with oneself?
I think it means becoming familiar with your story, who you are as a person, what things make you up as a leader, as a human. And for me, I've I've come to a place where I've started to lead myself with a bit of compassion, curiosity, understanding what it is to be human. I've done that through lots of therapy, lots of work with, you mentioned that I did some Indigenous relations. The idea that you find a foundation in yourself. Who are you in the quiet? Who are you in the silence? What comes up for you there? And being able to spend space and enjoy spending time with yourself.
I really resonate with that personally. I think I've spent many, many years really working with mindfulness as like a core method to help leaders understand who they are, how they think, um, and how they see the world and their interactions with others. What are some practical ways that you've seen leaders sort of take on that work of really learning about who they are? Like, what are some of the like nuts and bolts ways that people can start that journey? And then also, I think I'd love to maybe start off with as well, like, what are some of the challenges that get in the way from taking those first steps?
Yeah. I think we like for me, I don't want to reflect on this journey that it's easy. Like I think mindfulness is it's hard. It's hard to be there at times. I think it's just taking steps to get into that space. And oftentimes we think it's bigger than it is. We often think about this healing journey as like the end product of being healed, being at that place where you're existing in a healthy place. But it's just the small steps. Like I often tell people who are starting their own sort of reflection and healing journey, start with a journal. Like that's just as good as therapy is be able to get your thoughts out, process those things. Everything plays into it. Like I would say, I'm a dad of three. I have a partner. My life is chaos at times. I might not always show up in my best self, but taking some moments to ground yourself, to reflect, to show up and be present, to actively listen to the people around you. But if you can find space to be present, that's, I think, where you show up as yourself. And that's where you start to know yourself a little bit more in the stillness, in the silence, in the present.
There's a lot of research coming up around the importance of nature and being out in nature. And I think, in Japan in particular, they have these forest bathing experiences where essentially you go into sensory immersion. And we often think that, I think there's some interesting neuroscience coming up too, that when we're overwhelmed, that we're experiencing too much. And sometimes I find that it could be hard thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go find time to reflect when already my head is just a mess and everything is racing and there's just so much I'm trying to hold on to. But a lot of this neuroscience that's coming out is that we're actually not perhaps experiencing too much when we're overwhelmed, but we're actually experiencing too little.
Yeah.
And what does that mean is that, yeah, we have thoughts and usually those can dominate our experience, but it's when we take those moments when we go in and we're immersed in sensations, when we find that silence, other aspects of our brain, our life experience sort of amplifies. And finding those moments, I know for me has been so deeply nourishing. There's more ease. There's a chance to sort of see those things that I've been holding on to, like tension in my body or maybe emotionally, certain things that I haven't looked at before. and as well to understand, like, just to understand what brings me joy. And it's so fascinating to me how it could seem counterintuitive that it's not that big, right? It's that you can find, if you find those moments, so much can sort of show up.
Yeah. Yeah. I hike lots, and I think you're right. Just taking the time. And it's not, I like how you said the idea, it's an experience. It's like, it's not the idea that we're being overwhelmed by all the things that we're taking in. Is like, we might not be experiencing enough of being fully present in the body, noticing what's happening around you. Like for me, I had this moment with my kids last night where I was on my phone being overwhelmed with other things. I just took a moment, put my phone down, and just watched my kid play, like fully experience what was happening around me. And it not only shifted my energy, but shifted the whole energy of the room. And that's often what leadership is, like the idea of like pulling yourself out of that overwhelm, being present. And for me, with my kids, was truly enjoying the fun that was happening around me rather than being overwhelmed often by the distractions.